Good morning and welcome to the early morning news. To present it, my name is Christabel Munga. And now let's have a look at the stories making headlines. Confusion in Mufumbwe over termination of DC's contract. Low COVID-19 vaccination rate worries Masebo as Zambia records 7 COVID-19 deaths. UPND unveils Andrew Kayengwa as Kabwata parliamentary candidate. Acting PF Lusaka Provincial Youth Chairperson Kelvin Kaunda says it is illegal for Given Lubinda to act as party president. In international news, extra vaccine mandates come into force in New York City. And now the early morning news in detail. The confusion in Mufumbwe district over the termination of contract for Patrick Kalelemba as district commissioner has escalated to the point of not just being verbal but exchange of blows. According to information reaching Prime Television News, the two rival groups, one in support of Elijah Sumaili Munyombe and the new DC, and those for Kalelemba, clashed when the group in support of Mr. Munyombe was escorting him to take over the office. The Kalelemba group crashed to lock up the office to stop the new DC from taking over. And when reached for a comment, Northwestern Provincial Permanent Secretary Colonel Grandson Katambi says the president has powers to appoint and disappoint. He says that those who are protesting are people close to Chief Chizela's throne. Jackson Mwansa now reports.
Wanamweka mpira sazi la kuponya kuliko misa kwanza zakazichita wote
mwana mangisha na ingiramu
nomba kachimulewera ira ikofiria nomba barereta ba traffic aba kwati kuri misonga
amatiaga sinomba yala tampa muno Mufumbwe tona okeba mutende Mufumbwe ke tona okeba makatajo kurwana abantu ne tona okeba mutende mwasajile twasala DC Kalelemba ba president twamuswawe mwana murume twamumona byubiro byanje bijuke tukwasha mwino mpunja ya Mufumbwe
mwaneka izi tuba bajimuke tuke kwituretera ba Munyombe mbabe kare ba DC bazinga pabu council chairman kechi bayingijire mwaira kwingira ne onka mambo ate babe na Mufumbwe mwana kechi twaswa kubamba ba Munyombe batwabe kare pa kifuro cha bu DC ne twakana.
There were a lot of complaints that came from there, alleging that he was not the right person to be appointed as DC. As you know, the president has got a prerogative to appoint and disappoint. So this problem continued to grow until we reached a stage where it was decided that for the sake of unity in Mufumbwe, Kalelemba should be dropped, which the president did. Now, to replace Kalelemba because of that vacancy which existed in Mufumbwe, His Excellency the President again appointed a well-known person in Mufumbwe who was also served as a council chairman from 2016 to 2021. Okay? And in the name of Mr. Munyombe. And this has nothing to do with the party structure of UPND. The people that went and protested were organized by those who are close to the throne. So the whole day we have been trying to cool down the situation to no avail. until when we asked the police to move in, and not to arrest, but to reason with our colleagues that were protesting against the appointment of Mr. Munyompe.
Former Patriotic Front Musanga Ward Councillor Mwakuta Jerry has been implicated in the sale of school land belonging to Katopola Primary School in Chipata. Both the school authorities and Provincial Education Officer Alan Lingambe confirmed the development to Prime TV News in an interview in Chipata. Dr. Lingambe says Mr. Jerry ignored the beacons that were put in 2017 to demarcate the land between the school and the community, which resulted in 40 plots being shared. And Director of Planning at Chipata City Council, Christopher Lukwesa, who is also acting town clerk, says the allocation of land to members of the community in the area was illegal. But when contacted for a comment, the former Musanga Ward Councillor denied any wrongdoing, stating that he only stood between the school and the community to end the conflicts on the land demarcations by putting new beacons. Christopher Banda now reports.
Cases of illegal land allocation by political party cadres are becoming more rampant in Chipata City, with the latest being Katopola Primary School, where former Musanga Ward Councillor of Chipata Central Constituency, Mwakuta Jerry, is alleged to have grabbed the school land and sold it to members of the community. Community representative Elias Banda confirmed having worked with the former councillor in demarcating the land.
Yaba maro yanapaswa na ma section chairperson komanso na honorable Mwakuta. Banga gambetero kuti ni maro ya school komafuniko konka ndondomeko mene zinaendera kugurizana pakati pa sukulu na community nagurizana bwanji amene anachitira umboni amene athandiza kuti pakhale malire pakati pa sukulu na community ndani na honorable Mwakuta. Information yonse bali nayo vasukulu anochita vinthu mwayo veve kosatuzakwe sema chairman kunabwera amatizi nduna zakapata moyo sana tiiteko analupita ukaika mabikoni kusero kwa manyumba ya vanthu osatifunse vema chairman amene mayang'anira section kuno kodi pakati pa teacher na chairman wa section wamene afuniko kuyang'anira maro ndani ni teacher kapena chairman section.
Provincial Education Officer Dr. Alan Ngambe says the school has been left with no place to expand as over 40 plots were demarcated on school land.
We discovered that despite the council having issued the instructions and they gave us the map and the school applied for the title deed, there are still some people around that area who are intimidating and overlooking the instructions from the council. And I'm told that the people that are causing trouble are former councillors for that area. They are not respecting the instructions from the council, where we need to secure that space for children to learn from. As we speak now, there's a house that has been constructed right next to the classroom, right next to a classroom block. You can imagine the noise when someone is cooking or playing music in their home, it causes to the learners in the classroom. So what we have done is, since we have all the documents, official documents, to secure that land, but there are a few people who are practicing lawlessness and failure to comply to rules of government, we have officially generated a letter where we want to raise this matter higher to the office of the Permanent Secretary and the Provincial Minister, so that they move in and see how they can help us.
However, Chipata City Council Acting Town Clerk Christopher Lukwesa confirmed that the land which was given to the people by the former councillor belongs to the school.
The matter was brought before us through the school itself, who wrote that people have encroached in their school boundaries. And to that effect, I had sent the team to go and assess the extent of encroachment. And indeed, we found that there were about 17 structures that have been built at various levels. But in any case, we had to issue them with stop orders, and we've marked them with crosses to say these are illegally done. They never followed the procedure. And we've given them 28 days in which to respond to us, further to which council will effect the law, because we know that within school premises we can't create other land uses such as residential plots. So that is an illegality in itself.
But when contacted for a comment, Mr. Jere denied having sold the land, but confirmed having participated in putting new beacons to separate the community and the school.
There is no truth in that statement. What I know about Katopola, and it is not only Katopola, I think there are several other schools. The issue is that when I was actually presiding as councillor, we realized, and in fact they approached me, that most of the schools, they had no demarcations. And so I was requested to ensure that the schools are protected through pressing of beacons. And there were conflicts between the schools and the communities. So what I merely did was to ensure that I come in, I ensure that the conflict is resolved between the two parties. And nothing like me having sold anything to anyone in these schools.
Reporting for Prime TV News, I'm Christopher Basilio Banda in Chipata, Eastern Province.
Chibwe Forest of Kapirimposhi has been heavily encroached by settlers and charcoal burners. Apart from encroachment, the forest has also been turned into a dump site by the local authority. Recently, Minister of Green Economy and Environment Collins Nzovu also revealed that on national forests were encroached under the watch of the Patriotic Front PF regime. Henry Ngosa reports.
In the past decade, Zambia lost about 1.9 million hectares of tree cover, equivalent to a 7.8% decrease in tree cover since 2000, and 690 metric tons of carbon emissions. In 2020 alone, Zambia had 163,000 hectares of tree cover loss, with less than 2,000 hectares of tree cover gain. Zambia's protected areas systems include 480 forest reserves, with 305 local forests and 175 national forests. In the past 5 years, dozens of forests in Zambia have been degazetted, leaving the environment bleeding, with the forest's biodiversity, ecosystems, contribution to economic development all compromised. Chibwe Forest of Kapirimposhi is heavily encroached by settlers and charcoal burners, but the local authority has also turned this forest into a dump site. The forest is heavily polluted by plastics stretching through the Great North Road. Minister of Green Economy and Environment Collins Nzovu has revealed that all forests in the country have been encroached and the environment impact have been massive.
Illegal invasion of the forest, encroachment in the forest, mining activities without licenses in the forest. So all our forests, actually, for your information, have been encroached. And so many illegal mining activities are happening. So we are clamping down on these.
A stone throw away is a sand mine. Minister Nzovu wonders how miners got licenses to mine in national forests.
We'll be calling upon the provincial administration as well to give us a report of the various activities, illegal environmental activities, pollution to the environment. You may be aware that one of the biggest illegalities which was happening in the previous administration pertained to mining.
Environmentalist Billy Sichamba has noted with concern the plastic pollution in Chibwe Forest done by Kapirimposhi Town Council and its failure to protect the forest, which plays a critical role in the ecosystem of the district.
That forest, Chibwe Forest, is still a degazetted forest. I know there have been calls to degazette it because of the indiscriminate cutting down of trees, which has worried us in that area, especially for charcoal burning and also for mining of cement. You find that large portions of land have been cleared of trees because that is the source of the river sand and building sand that people in Kabwe, Kapiri and surrounding communities use. So that also, I don't know how Zema has allowed such indiscriminate mining of sand in that area. That has also contributed to the high degradation in the area. I think even the ecosystem in Chibwe Forest has been disturbed. So
on the other hand, biodegradable plastics can change the soil chemistry. Fumes increases water evaporation, drying out the soil as plastic surfaces allow toxic substances to accumulate in ways that they couldn't in organic soil, making it a danger in the long term to have a dump site in a forest. Henry Ngosa reporting for Prime TV News in Kapirimposhi district of Central Province.
The faded road markings and signs on most roads in Livingstone have raised concern among motorists and pedestrians. Imakando Mutwela, a taxi driver, says the markings on the pedestrian crossings along Mosiotunya Road and other roads around the tourist capital are posing a great danger to motorists and pedestrians. And Robert Manjimela says the absence of these important markings is defeating efforts being made to reduce road accidents, especially during the festive season. Meanwhile, Livingstone City Council LCC Public Relations Manager Melvin Mokela says the local authority is equally concerned that most of the road markings in the city have faded, but that the thermoplastic paint has been procured to remark the roads. Michael Himusa now reports.
Road signs and markings are cardinal for the safety of not only drivers but also pedestrians. They help road users to navigate the road systems by making them aware of upcoming hazards and drive appropriately. But the current situation in Livingstone has concerned motorists as road markings and signs have faded on most of the roads.
Yeah, we have got poor road signs because you see, this town is small but it's busy. So like us motorists, drivers, like for example us taxi drivers, when we are driving, people, they don't even know to say that's a zebra crossing, that's what. Like for us that have been raised here and we have started our job here, we know where the zebra crossing is. Now, for example, like in this time of festive season, where people, they don't know that there's a zebra crossing there. So we are complaining to say these people, they need to mark these things. They need to mark them. Even the parking spaces, they need to be marked so that people, they can even know.
There are other people who normally just come here to visit. They don't even see all the road signs, especially pedestrian crossings and these other signs where it's written 60, someone 60, you can find it somewhere to the tank. But as you are going down to the falls, to the robots, you won't find that signpost of 60. But there's others who can join into the main road, minus knowing that I should drive at 60 or 40. And as a result, you find that we always differ with the traffic officers.
Tupeza voto concerning ma pedestrian kuli wani ilipa Zesco siwonekeratu, so it's difficult kuli yapa Mukuni Park na ilipa Calvary ma pedestrian na yamene ilipa chan pa spa paja kuli pedestrian paja kuli biletu siwonekano CEO Mike Niwa.
And Livingstone City Council Public Relations Manager Melvin Mokela knows the situation and explains the measures the council has put in place to repaint the signs and markings.
We have procured the thermoplastic paint that we want to use to paint these road markings. However, this is a special paint which requires a special machine for us to be able to work on these roads. The machine at a time when we were checking the prices, it was about 300,000. And as a local authority at the moment, we don't have this money. So we are still looking for this money so that we can go there and paint these markings. But alternatively, what we are doing now is that we are sourcing a supplier who's got this particular machine. We are going to hire it so that in the immediate response, we can ensure that in the town center and other places in Livingstone, we can paint this. So by latest, before February, we are assuring members of the public that all the markings which have faded will be redone.
When one wants to acquire a driver's license, the candidate has to undergo practical road tests to be examined whether they understand the road signs and markings. With the current situation in Livingstone, it is not known if the candidates are able to comprehend if the markings are not visible. Michael Himusa Jr., Prime TV News, in Livingstone, Southern Province.
Parents of a 20-year-old girl of Kalumbila district of Northwestern Province have appealed for assistance from well-wishers to enable the child acquire special education. Thelma Nkowani was born normally but developed an illness at the age of between 6 to 8 months, which left her in a state in which she cannot walk or talk. Thelma's only method of communication is through drawings. Jackson Mwansa now gives us this report.
This is Nkowani Thelma. She's aged 20. She was not born like this, but according to her father, she developed a flu at the age of between 6 to 8 months, which led to this condition. All efforts to have her get relieved from a severe cough proved futile. Later, when she was taken to one of the biggest hospitals in Northwestern Province, examinations were conducted and the results showed that her limbs could not function anymore. That marked the beginning of another chapter in her life, since from then, she can't walk, hear, or talk. Thelma faces challenges to move because the place where they stay in Kananga area is waterlogged. The only communication tool she uses is drawing.
So she just crawls like this. As at this moment, even to the toilet, she's able to crawl. But this area gets waterlogged. And to crawl in water, I don't know how we can call it. It becomes a little bit of a problem.
Thelma's parents are now appealing for assistance from all well-wishers to help her get special education and also acquire her a wheelchair to ease her mobility, because the one which was given to her by a Good Samaritan some time back is too old and cannot function anymore.
I feel that up to this age, I don't know if any medical help can do her a farewell, but it could be a portable wheelchair can help her.
As leaders, we can at least take time to visit and see what people are going through. That's why I thought of taking this time to visit the young girl here.
The family is hopeful that their request will be heard and a Good Samaritan will come to their aid. Jackson Mwansa reporting for Prime TV News in Kalumbila District, Northwestern Province.
Residents of Manyama area of Kalumbila District in Northwestern Province are in support of fuel subsidy removal. The residents say they have confidence in the New Dawn administration that the move will in the end be beneficial to the Zambian people. They say they believe that the financial resources reserved will be channeled to other developmental projects. Jackson Mwansa now reports.
The debate by members of the public on the removal of fuel subsidies has continued, with people expressing mixed feelings. In Kalumbila District of Northwestern Province, some residents of Manyama are in support of the removal of fuel subsidies, which was recently announced by the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, citing that they have confidence in the New Dawn government and believes the financial resources reserved could be channeled to other developmental projects.
What we are waiting from the president is come 2022, we are expecting everything that we are promised to us during elections to be fulfilled. Kalumbila District, the youths, they are suffering, no jobs. So we need jobs in Kalumbila District. We need more cooperatives. We have schools. We were short of teachers. So we also need teachers. For now, we can't talk much, we can't complain too much, because we are in a PF budget which is ending on 31st this month of December. Come 2022, we need what the president promised to start working. For now, everyone is quiet, everyone is cool.
Furthermore, they indicated that they will exercise patience to see how the New Dawn government will implement the 2022 national budget.
We can't complain of fuel because they have removed that subsidy, of which It is like a woman with a powder. Now you talk of let's remove that powder, because that powder from the face is a part of the cost. So now that substitute has been removed out. Now a neutral woman has remained. Even if I want to go and engage, I'll engage a woman without powder, without whatever. For the substitute, it's out. We know for sure very much that come 2022, next week, everything will be fine. We expect the president. The president, we are in support with you. This is Manyama. This is the people of Manyama. This is Manyama Station. Our words are very cool. We are not in panic of the increase of fuel. We know everything will come down. We support you, our body. We support our MP. We support everyone at Manyama.
Jackson Mansa reporting for Prime TV News in Kalumbila District, Northwestern Province.
Government has embarked on a wide range of measures to revamp the economy and restore the country on a path to sustainable economic growth and development. This is according to Information and Media Minister Chushi Kasanda, who explains that some of the measures being taken by government may be discomforting to citizens, but that majority Zambians will soon begin to feel the positive impact of these measures. Ms. Kasanda says government is committed to ensuring that the rule of law is upheld in Zambia and democratic principles are enhanced. She was speaking on Monday morning in Lusaka during a capacity training workshop for journalists on effective reporting on human rights issues. Namangolo Mundia reports.
Recommitting to ensure that the rule of law is upheld and democratic principles are enhanced, government has embarked on a wide range of measures to revamp the economy so that citizens can lead good lives and happy ones. Some of these measures include revamping the economy and restoring the country on a path of sustainable economic growth and development. This is according to Minister of Information and Media, Chushi Kasanda, who has explained that some of the measures may be discomforting to citizens, but majority Zambians will soon begin to feel the positive impact of these measures.
Some of these measures may be discomforting to the people, but they are intended to restore the country on a path to sustainable economic growth and development. In this regard, government is confident that Zambians will soon begin to feel the positive impact on some of the measures, such as the record-breaking 25.7 million Kwacha Constituency Development Fund, which will start rolling out to the constituencies countrywide come January 2022, in order to accelerate national development. Further, government is also on course to implement other landmark developmental targets, such as the recruitment of 30,000 teachers, introduction of free education from early childhood to secondary level, as well as the recruitment of 11,200 health personnel, among other priorities.
Ms. Kasanda has further stated that other measures include enhancing the rule of law and democratic principles. This is through ensuring that the media reports are skilled and researched. That will lead to citizens making informed decisions.
To achieve this, the role of the media is critical to ensure that the voice of the people is heard through skilled and well-researched reporting. It therefore gives me immense pleasure to note that the Continental Leadership Research Institute, a local civil society organization with the support of the United States Embassy in Zambia, has embarked on a project that aims at strengthening the voice of rural communities through civic education programs and also building the capacity of media personnel to effectively report on human rights activities.
She was speaking during the capacity building training workshop for journalists on effective reporting on human rights issues. And speaking at the same event, a non-governmental organization, Continental Leadership Research Institute Executive Director, Mundia Hagola, says it is encouraging that government has since announced its intention to enact the Information Bill next year, 2022, that will allow for individuals to exercise and enjoy their right to information. Reporting for Prime Television News in Lusaka, Namangolwa Mundia.
The low number of people being vaccinated against COVID-19 countrywide has worried the Ministry of Health. Health Minister Sylvia Masebo says the low vaccination levels are leading to the country recording high new COVID-19 cases in which more children are testing positive on a daily basis. Ms. Masebo has therefore called on citizens to turn up in huge numbers and get vaccinated. Speaking during the COVID-19 update, Ms. Masebo also disclosed that the country has recorded 7 COVID-19 deaths in the last 24 hours. 1,355 new cases have been recorded out of the 4,499 tests conducted. The country's overall COVID-19 cases now stand at 16,612 with 412 admissions and 16 total deaths.
To appreciate those that are still scared, that have doubts, but I just want to say to you that don't waste time. Ensure that you get vaccinated. This time around on Christmas Day, I had the opportunity to visit the isolation center at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital, and I noticed that some of the youths that were in the isolation center were able to speak to me. And I was able to discover that these are some of the youths that had doubts. And now after being admitted and after testing positive, that's when they realized that COVID is real. There are people who talk without really thinking hard about this issue, and until they're affected or infected directly, then they become serious about it. Well, the new cases were reported from 59 districts out of 116 districts, which we have in Zambia, with Lusaka having 165 cases, Chingola 106 cases, Chilavombwe 91 cases, Ndola 70 cases, Solwezi 68 cases, Kabwe 67 cases, Kafiwe 62 cases, and Kalulushi 52 cases. So we have districts that are recording over 50 new cases. The remaining 51 districts reported fewer than 49 new cases each. Therefore, the cumulative number of COVID-19 confirmed cases recorded to date now stands at 234,407.
The UPND has adopted Andrew Tayengwa as a candidate for the Kabwata parliamentary by-election, slated for January 20th next year. Mr. Tayengwa was unveiled by the ruling party's chairperson for elections, Gary Nkombo, at a press briefing held at the UPND Secretariat Monday morning. Meanwhile, other candidates have unveiled their plans for the constituency once elected in office. Venon Moema reports.
All is seemingly set for the Kabwata parliamentary by-election as various political parties have selected their respective candidates. While the opposition Patriotic Front on Sunday announced the adoption of Clement Tembo as its flag bearer, the ruling UPND has settled for Andrew Tayengwa, who was unveiled on Monday morning by party election chairperson Gary Nkombo.
I am very privileged and glad now to release the name of our candidate for Kabwata parliamentary constituency. And to my right-hand side, the man next to me answers to the name of Andrew Tayengwa. Thank you. Andrew Tayengwa is the official candidate for the UPND in Kabwata, having polled a runaway margin of 103 votes, and among the top four that were shortlisted, 103 votes for Mr. Tayengwa, and the rest followed at 47, 21, and 19. And so good luck next time for those who have not made it. And congratulations, Mr. Tayangwa.
PF's Clement Tembo highlights the challenges of the constituency and how he intends to resolve them.
I was, bred in Kabata constituency. I did my grade 1 at Timothy Malakato in Chilenje, and I've never separated from the constituency. So the many challenges that the people of Kabata constituency are facing, which I am a member of the community, I do understand. The first one is the young people. The majority in Kabata constituency are youths, and most of them are unemployed. You can see that they are roaming the streets. They've got nothing much to do. We want to quickly get to do some recreation activities for them and some skills development for them. That is key on our agenda. And we've been talking about this for a long time. Now God has given us an opportunity to go and address the matter.
The Kabwata parliamentary by-election was necessitated by the demise of area lawmaker Levi Mukandawire. Vernon Muwema, Prime TV News, in Lusaka.
Acting PF Lusaka Provincial Youth Chairperson Kelvin Kaunda says it is illegal for Given Lubinda to act as party president. Mr. Kaunda says, according to Article 54 of the PF Constitution, the vice president of the party can only become acting president when the party president dies or when the party president has been removed from his position as party president. He says, as far as the party is concerned, President Edgar Lungu is not dead. Neither has he been removed from his position. Hence, Mr. Lubinda cannot become acting president of the party. He says, as things stand now, Mr. Lubinda is simply the vice president, according to Article 54 of the PF Constitution, which clearly stipulates conditions under which the vice president of the PF can become acting president of the party. As we end the early morning news, a recap of the headlines. Confusion in Mufumbwe over termination of DC's contract. Low COVID-19 vaccination rate worries Masebo as Zambia records 7 COVID-19 deaths. UPND unveils Andrew Tayangwa as Kabwata parliamentary candidate. And acting PF Lusaka Provincial Youth Chairperson Kelvin Kaunda says it is illegal for Given Lubinda to act as party president. This has been Christabel Munga. Good morning.